You're listening to Scotty and Andrew, and this is Fun with Horror.
Oh, welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Fun with Horror, the weekly horror movie review podcast in which Andrew and I take turns giving each other movies to watch, and then we discuss them the following week. The only two rules that we have are that one, whoever picks the movie has to choose a movie they've never seen, and two, we both have to watch the movie the following week. Now, last week I chose Halloween Kills, a movie that just came out, and it's directed by David Gordon Green and stars Jamie Lee Curtis, Judy Greer, Andi Matichuk, and yeah. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Scotty. What a great intro.
Well, come on.
That was great. That was great,
thank
man.
you.
That sounded awesome. I love that.
I mean, I didn't mention Anthony Michael Hall,
right.
but we'll get into that.
He's probably going to be a little upset when he's listening to this, but that's all right.
Yeah. He is our biggest fan, after all.
He is. He writes us often.
Often. He's like, when are you guys going to do Breakfast Club?
He's like, that's
Like
scary to some.
Anthony, dude. Come on. We're a horror movie podcast. And he's like, no, Breakfast Club.
Well, do
Come on,
Dead
guys.
Zone, the TV series, at some point.
Ooh. I did forget about that.
Right?
Did you ever see that?
I did. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, how was it?
You know, well, I saw it when I was probably like, I don't know, 13, and my mom and I watched it, and we enjoyed it, but I don't remember really much about it, to be honest. I just remember liking it.
I don't think I ever watched it.
Oh, right on. I don't know how it would be to today's standards, just because I remember there being some like CGI effects every once in a while, and this was again like
Yeah.
17, 18 years ago, so I don't know how it's going to look.
Yeah. I mean, we worked on it where I was working back then.
Oh, right
And
on.
so I guess I saw like snippets, but I never like sat down and watched a full episode or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to because obviously Stephen King.
Right.
But yeah. Yeah, so there you go. Dead Zone.
Sweet.
How are you?
Dude, I'm good. Life's good right now, I think.
I am finally like, it's kind of a slow start this month because I've been super busy.
Yeah.
But I'm finally starting to feel kind of Halloweenish.
Nice. There you go.
And something I wanted to tell you.
Yes.
And it's funny because we've mentioned this to each other, that like sometimes I want to call you right away. I want to text you. I want to tell you something. But it's something that has to do with horror movies.
Right.
And then I think, save it for the podcast, Scotty.
Yep.
And then I have a long conversation with myself in the third person, which is awesome.
You and
I'm
Lil
not
Lil
crazy.
Scotty?
Yeah, Lil Scotty. Lil John?
Lil John. Oh yeah. Yeah, Big John. Yes,
We'll get
dude.
there.
Yeah,
We'll get there.
We'll talk about that.
But anyway, so it's funny every year during October, obviously you and I watch horror movies all year round, but in October I like to try and go through a series of movies, and it's fun. Like I remember one year going through all the Halloween movies with our friend JD. Last year I ended up going through the Scream movies.
Oh, nice.
And this year I actually had a couple of series that I thought I was going to start watching and go through.
Oh.
We've talked about Hellraiser.
Yep.
I have that Friday the 13th Blu-ray box set,
Oh, that's right.
and also Final Destination. I haven't seen all those movies, so I thought
nice.
maybe that would happen. But this has been the month of Chucky, my friend.
Yeah, buddy.
And if people are listening and they've listened to our other podcast episodes, they'll, this is kind of a continuation.
Mm-hmm.
I've mentioned how I'm going through the Chucky movies, and I caught up, buddy.
You're all caught up?
Yeah, yeah, I did
Yay!
it. I did it.
Yes.
This past week, I finished Seed of Chucky. Glenn,
Glenn. Oh,
Glenda,
Glenda, and yeah. Oh my goodness.
and then I watched Curse of Chucky and Cult of Chucky.
Nice.
And I'm sure you're wondering what I thought.
Yes, I am. I am very, very, very excited to hear what you thought.
Well, Seed of Chucky was something else.
It totally is.
I
don't even know how to describe that movie.
No, I don't either. When it started, I was loving it.
Yeah.
I thought it was just nuts.
Yeah.
And I loved Glenn. Although at the time, I think his name was just, head.
Oh, right.
But yeah, later on, he becomes Glenn or Glinda. And I thought that was very clever because it's a callback to the old Ed Wood movie.
Right.
And of course, and then you have John Waters in the movie.
Yep.
But man, I was ready for it to be over at a certain point. It was a little too long, and I was seriously looking forward to Curse and Cult of Chucky.
Right.
And so you've told me before that Chucky scared you as a kid.
Horrified me. Yes. Yep.
That's interesting to me.
Okay.
And I definitely want to dive into that at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I can't even fathom how Chucky from Child's Play 1, 2, and 3 could scare somebody. Like, he's fun. He's a great horror movie slasher villain, but he was never scary to me.
Right. Well, you got to remember, too, I was 5.
Oh, yeah.
So that's part of it.
Yeah, that makes a difference, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the things that scared me at 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the great thing was that Curse of Chucky, they actually made Chucky pretty scary.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
I'm not going to spoil these movies, but I loved how there was like this build, this slow build to where when you actually see possessed Chucky, the Chucky we all know.
Right.
And I actually really enjoyed the story, and then the greatest thing is that it felt like a reboot.
Right. Yes.
But at the same time, it was a sequel.
Yep.
Like, it carried over the story from Seed of Chucky.
Yep.
Which was shocking to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but let's be honest, it more carried over the story from Bride of Chucky.
Right. You're correct. Yep.
But no, still Seed of Chucky, yeah, because everything that happens during that movie is still there.
Yeah.
And then that carries over into Cult of Chucky. And Curse and Cult feel like 2 movies back to back, and
Yep.
they have the same feel.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we won't spoil anything, but Andrew, have you watched the first episode of Chucky?
I have not yet. Nope.
Okay. I watched
you?
it last night,
Oh, okay.
and we will talk about it once you see it.
Okay.
But I'm very interested in because the other cool thing about Curse of Chucky and Cult of Chucky is that the mystery of the movie is how it ties into the previous movies.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Curse of Chucky, you're like, well, wait, what about what happened in the previous movies? Until you get to a certain point, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I know that scene exactly.
And Cult of Chucky, even more so.
Mm-hmm.
It's so confusing at the beginning. You're like, what the heck's going on?
Yep.
And then later on, I can't wait to see that tie into the TV show.
Well, me too. And I, again, without spoiling anything, but watching the trailer to the TV show, there's definitely a moment that's called out from Cult of Chucky, for sure. And again, that's not a spoil. I'm not saying anything, but you definitely, I feel like you need to see them all, and I think you'd appreciate the show more. I haven't seen the first episode, so I would think if you're new to it, you'd probably still like it, but I mean, if you've seen them all, I think there's going to be some more. You'll appreciate it more, maybe.
I'm sure. Like I'm, thinking of my girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if she watched the first episode, she'd still enjoy it for what it is.
Okay, cool.
The first episode, I'm trying to think now. I don't remember any direct connections between between the first episode and Cult of Chucky.
Okay.
So I think I haven't watched the trailer that you saw, so maybe there's scenes in the trailer that are from future episodes.
You're right. Yeah, there sure might be. Yeah, that would make sense.
So,
yeah. Oh, that's so cool, dude. I'm so happy you finished them all. And one thing
I can't wait for you to watch the first episode.
For sure. I will. Yeah, I'll let you know. Well, maybe we'll talk about it. We'll see when we talk about it. But one thing, too, that I really liked about Curse and Cult also is that they sort of have an independent film feel. And I know that they were filmed on a tighter budget. But I liked that. It felt kind of like the original. It just kind of had that smaller cast maybe, and I don't know. I liked it. I really enjoyed those two.
Well, they were both straight to video.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
And the last thing I just want to say about both of them.
Yeah, please.
Is holy crap. Fiona looks exactly like her dad, Fiona Dourif.
Right? Oh my gosh. Exactly.
She looks exactly like her dad, especially in Cult of Chucky.
Yep.
I mean, I could see it in her eyes in Curse, but then in Cult of Chucky, there was just the facial expression she was making. I was like, holy crap.
They have some strong genes.
Yeah. Levi's. Okay.
My grandmother was right. The boogeyman was real. It's over. We can't hurt anyone ever again.
No one told you.
Told me what?
Somebody in there? Michael Myers is alive.
Bloody baby.
Oh my gosh.
Bloody baby.
I'm leaving this in.
Oh, are we recording?
Yes.
Hi.
People are gonna be
Bloody
like,
baby.
What just happened?
That's me enunciating.
Yes.
It's not working at all. I thought maybe it would, but
that's, you know what? That's what horror podcasters do instead of red leather, yellow leather. It's bloody baby.
Yeah, they say things that don't help at all, but they're on point.
Yep.
Oh boy, Andrew,
dude. Well,
this is a special episode.
This is a special episode. We watched a brand new movie.
Spankin' new.
Brand spankin' new. As we as we record.
Wait, did you get spanked during it too?
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought that was a requirement. Didn't you mention that rule at the beginning?
No, this is coincidence.
Oh.
We both got spankings while watching this movie. Amazing.
Man, this is why we're friends. Right there. Best friends.
Spankings.
No, what did we
Bloody baby.
Bloody baby. What did we watch? What did we watch this week? Because this was your choice.
It was my choice. Well, we watched, in fact, yesterday, we both watched Halloween Kills.
Yes, we did.
The 2021 classic. That just came out this weekend in theaters and on Peacock.
Yes.
That's right. And you watched a full marathon.
We did. I know. Well, we were going to do Halloween from 2018, followed by Halloween Kills. But I knew that Halloween Kills was going to reference the original.
And it did.
Yeah, oh boy, it did. Man, way more than I thought. But I told my wife, I said, we don't have to, but let me kind of give you some background just as a reminder, a refresher. And she said, well, why don't we just watch the first one too? And I went, yeah, okay. So we did a triple movie marathon yesterday.
That's beautiful, man.
It was awesome.
Because, and let's remind people that Halloween Kills and Halloween 2018 are direct sequels to John Carpenter's Halloween from 1978. They both, Halloween 2018 ignored every other Halloween movie out there, including Rob Zombie's. And then Halloween Kills is a direct sequel to that. So, that said, this is your spoiler warning, our dear audience. This is your spoiler warning. We are going to talk about these movies. We're probably going to talk about Halloween's 1978. We're definitely probably going to talk about Halloween 2018. And then, of course, we're going to spoil the crap out of Halloween Kills.
Yep.
So if you haven't seen these movies, this is your warning. We're going to spoil them.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Well, that being said, this was your pick of the week, man.
Was.
What did you think of Halloween Kills?
So it's interesting. A friend of mine asked me that just last night.
Yeah.
And it's possible. This is me. This is how I watch movies. It is completely possible to have a few issues with a movie, but still love the hell out of it.
Absolutely.
And that was me with Halloween Kills. Like, there's some issues I have with it,
Right.
which we'll talk about in a second. But I still loved it. I still had a great time watching it, and I still can't wait to watch it again.
Yes.
And what about you? What did you think?
The exact same thing. There was a few...
That's why we're friends.
That's it. Right there. You know what? Podcast over.
Let's go watch Cats.
Yep. Oh. I'll watch your
Next
Cats.
week's horror movie.
Ooh. That's one we should have put for our romantic dance movies.
Hey, I don't know that it's too romantic, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not romantic.
I didn't see it.
You should.
Should I?
Yeah, we're just going to talk about that now.
Okay.
The 2019 classic Cats
Oh my god.
was directed by...
The first scene. No, but
anyway.
No.
Okay,
yeah. Anyway. No, I the same thing though. I definitely there's some flaws, there's some faults, but I had a great time watching it. I had a lot of fun watching that for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about a few flaws first. And I just I'm curious right now.
Yeah.
Normally I would just start naming mine since it was my pick, but I want to name one. I want to see if we're on the same page.
I would say
Pressure's on.
Oh my gosh, yeah, now I'm a little bit worried.
Testing our friendship.
No, jeez. The ending?
Oh.
One thing at the ending?
No, I like the ending.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. Well, okay, so then I'll go into mine and you can agree or disagree.
Okay, yeah. Let me hear yours.
Sorry for the pressure, buddy.
That's okay. I know. I peed a little, but that's okay.
So I thought, first of all, so we did watch 2018. We watched a double feature.
Nice.
We watched Halloween 2018 and then this one. And the great thing about 2018 is that characters, even as an audience, if as an audience you think, oh, don't do that, the characters don't really make stupid decisions. They make believable decisions from people that are, in that situation.
Right.
Whereas this movie, I didn't think so much. I thought people, certain characters continuously made poor decisions.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
Absolutely.
we're going full bore into spoiler territory. The first thing that comes to mind is near the end when the kids and the dad are in the car.
Yep.
What's his face? Lonnie.
Yep.
And Lonnie, somewhat heroically decides to go into the Myers house by himself.
Yeah.
Like, why? Why, dude? We've had a whole night of this almost supernatural killer just destroying people.
Yep.
And and there was a few decisions like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the lady. Oh God.
The nurse.
Lindsay. No, Lindsay.
Oh, Lindsay. Right. Yeah.
Who was played by Kyle Richards, and that was wonderful.
Yeah. Super cool.
We'll get
to have
into
her.
all the actors playing their old characters in a second. But
Yeah.
yeah, Lindsay, after Michael slaughters everybody else that was in her car, she's running, and it's like Michael's just walking.
Yeah.
And it's like this the Friday the 13th effect where, man, like that's the easiest killer to get away from right there.
Yep.
And she stops.
To
She stops and
hide.
hides. And okay, yeah, it worked.
Right.
But man, if that's happening, I'm running.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to stop.
Nope.
I'm going to run until I get to a bunch of people.
Yep. Although,
Like, come on.
I
What?
will
Yeah,
say,
go ahead.
No, I agree. I totally agree with you 100%. But it was cool to see that. Maybe they weren't doing it on purpose, but it was kind of a nice little Lord of the Rings shout out.
I saw. Yeah, I caught that too.
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, cool, Lord of the Rings."
I did think that was neat, and that was one of the only reasons I was okay with it.
Me too. Yep.
Besides
Exactly.
the fact that it worked, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fact that he didn't see her, but still, it's like this guy never runs.
Right.
And then, yeah, I mean, I guess they kind of explain it at the end as Michael growing more powerful somehow.
See,
with
that was
each
my
kill.
issue. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as much as I love as a horror fan to see Michael just kill, like he almost turned into a martial arts expert. Like the whole firefighter scene,
Right.
like you have these firefighters with these enormous weapons,
Right.
and Michael just Bruce Lee's them all.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
enter the Myers.
You know what? Learn from Busta Rhymes.
Please don't remind me of that movie.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. That was horrible. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Anyway,
Anyway.
moving on.
Yep. Sorry.
Do not resurrect that movie.
Oh,
Oh, see what I did
I
there?
saw what you did there.
Okay.
Anyway, back
Bloody
to,
babies.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, you know, yeah, I mean, I knew Michael was going to do it when he walks out of the burning house
Right.
and all the firefighters are getting their weapons there. I'm like, oh, Michael's about to kill them all, and
Right.
block all their attacks and counterattack. And I was like, okay, I'll give the movie that,
Right.
but it's not that believable.
No, I agree.
And then it's you have the same thing at the very end, but that's during the part where, you know, they're talking about Michael becoming more powerful and almost inhumanly powerful,
Right.
and that's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting, but that was the part, I don't know, where I just kind of went, they had him. They had him. Like, I don't know. It is interesting. It's an interesting concept, but that was one thing that was weird to me, too, is these new ones felt more grounded, I guess, a little bit, compared
Rooted
to-
in reality.
Rooted in reality. And so when they started doing that, I was like, I was kind of hoping we already had, that kind of stuff before, I feel like, but I kind of like the grounded in reality aspect of it. So,
Yeah.
I'm over it. It's not a big deal, but that was one part, like I said, the end where they started doing that, and he just kind of gets back up, and I was like, they just had him.
Yeah. With the mob scene, I think that annoyed me because it's supposed to. Like, you know that all these people are making a horrible decision.
Right.
You know, I think somebody mentioned online, I stayed far away from most opinions, but one that I did see was that how did these people not know what Michael Myers looked like without the mask on?
Right. And they should have.
never-
Because on
No?
the TV they showed him.
No.
Oh, they didn't?
They showed him and the other inmate, but I don't know if they ever, like, the TV blurred his name or his face.
Right.
So I'd have to go back and look. Did it actually say his name
Okay.
along with the photograph?
Okay.
Because it said that 2 inmates escaped,
Right. You're right.
and it showed both of them. But I don't know if it differentiated what their names were and
That would
which
make
one
more
was
sense.
Michael Myers.
Okay.
So, you know, I'll give that to the movie too. That,
Right.
But still, at the same time, I wasn't. The evil dies tonight was kind of silly.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, human beings are kind of silly.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, I mean, this whole, not to get political, but this whole last year and a half,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when you see a scene like that and you're like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Then you look at this past year and a half and see what people have done.
Right.
And you're like, okay, well, yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was kind of annoying, but I did like, I liked the end. I liked the end of the mob scene. I liked Tommy suddenly at the last moment realizing that they're making a huge mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked that they didn't get him, the other inmate. I liked that he took his own way out.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
And I thought it was very sad because I felt very sad for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then I was like, wasn't he on the same bus though with Michael Myers?
He was.
So like maybe that, not that I'm saying it's okay, but I'm just, that was my way to justify it a little. Like I was like, well, maybe he was also like a really, really horrible, like, I don't know, killer of some kind or whatever. So that was my way of justifying.
Yeah, but we just know he was in a mental facility. We
You're
don't know
right.
why.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, let me justify it though for myself, so I feel less bad.
Go ahead. No, I'm just gonna feel bad.
Okay.
I'm gonna just be depressed about it all day.
Touche.
But okay, but that was honestly for me all those points that I just made.
Mm-hmm.
Those were really my only faults with the movie.
That's
So
fair.
a little bit of unbelievability, some dumb choices by people,
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit of cheesiness to the mob scene that I could have done without.
Right.
Everything else, I kind of loved.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I'm with you.
What about you?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like I said, the ending kind of, I already said what I said about that. Just I wanted it to be a little more grounded.
That was what you didn't like about the ending?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
That and
But what about the very end?
I liked that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
me too.
awesome. And it sets up. Well, because
Yeah.
we have two that are left now, essentially, of that
What?
fam. Wait, what do you?
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
I thought you were saying two movies. I was like, wait, no.
No. We have Lori and her granddaughter, because again, spoiler.
Yeah.
Lori's daughter gets killed at the end, the very
Yep.
end, which is gonna be a nice. I could see the third one being quite a revenge story. It already has been, but to lose her daughter,
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be her. I'm going out like this is it. This is the final, the end of this. So that's kind of nice to see. I agree with you. There was a lot of dumb decisions. I felt like there was a lot of dumb decisions, even in like there was that group that went with the nurse, and I feel like they saw Michael. And they should have driven away or something. I don't know. But they just kind of stand there or sit there.
Well, see, that was another one where one of the characters decides to go check it out by herself.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
And I mean, obviously, though, that was kind of it led to some fan service.
You're right. Yes, it did.
Because we have the nurse. We have, she's played by the exact same
Yes.
Nancy Stevens
There you-
as
yep.
Marion. And it was obviously a throwback to the first movie.
For
with
sure.
Michael jumping on the car.
Yep.
And at that point, I kind of didn't mind as much because then it led to some amazing kills.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I mean, Marion's kill was heartbreaking.
It was. I know. That was a bummer.
But then the couple, like the knife through his head was and coming out his eye.
That and the gun. I went.
Yeah.
I literally
Yeah.
like screamed on our couch, like in just an oh my gosh kind of way.
I was laughing. I was laughing so hard.
It was awesome. Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
But
Oh my
yeah, I
gosh.
mean, Lindsay getting out of the car was
Mhm.
stupid. But
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't mind those kills.
Yeah, and so I agree with you. Anytime I see someone do something dumb, I'm just like, come on. Use your head. But
yeah. And
so
I'm very, very forgiving of horror movie characters.
Right.
Because a lot of people think that, and this is a whole other conversation, but a lot of people, when they watch a horror movie, they think characters make some horrible decisions, like don't go down in the cellar.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I'm going to go down in the cellar.
Yeah.
I don't expect there to be a crazed killer down there.
You're right.
I'm going to go check to see what the hell's making all that noise.
You're right.
What's that racket? But if I know that somebody like Michael Myers is out there, I'm not getting out of the car by myself.
Right. Yep.
To go check out, although, I guess she was saving the kids, but I would have said, everybody, let's get out of the car. All of us.
Right. Yep.
Like,
Strength
nobody
numbers,
stays
man.
behind. We all go out there.
Yeah. I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
But like I said, besides that and kind of that little bit at the end, I really liked everything about it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a wonderful sequel to the 2018 one.
I absolutely loved the backstory
Oh my gosh.
of young Hawkins.
Yes, that was awesome.
I loved the idea of going back to what happens after the first movie ends.
Yep.
To Michael, because I didn't even really think about that.
Yeah.
I'm sure other people did, but when I saw Halloween 2018, Michael was in this mental facility, great. I didn't even really think, like, oh, wait, he did get away at the end of the first movie, so how did they catch him?
Well,
and then, this movie answered that.
Yeah, and my wife actually asked that same question after we watched the first one. She goes, well, how'd they catch him? And I said, I don't know, because we haven't seen it. And then it was nice watching this one, because we went, oh, cool, there it is.
Yeah.
They catch him.
I did. The way that the flashbacks were filmed was so good.
I have that on my note. My wife actually said to say that, and I agreed. It looked 70s. It looked like an old filter.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
And I got a quick shout out to that moment when young Hawkins is going upstairs, and then he looks in the room and Michael attacks his partner.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way he throws them, like, just runs.
Yes.
Because you don't see Michael run.
Nope.
And that's, to me, the only thing more terrifying than a slasher villain is a slasher villain that runs.
Right.
And only Freddy really runs. Like, the other ones, well, I guess Leatherface can run.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Michael doesn't run. Jason, except for in the remake, doesn't run.
Mm-hmm.
Chucky, come on, he's Chucky.
Yeah.
Even if he runs, you're going to outrun Chucky. Yeah. Although nobody does. Nobody outruns any of these villains, but...
Yep.
Anyway, I like that. I love the flashbacks.
Yep.
What else?
And it was
this
cool.
was... Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say it was cool, too, to see, quote-unquote, Donald Pleasance.
Oh...
Even though it wasn't him, it was really nice to see.
It was so well
Loomis.
done.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Like, you think of all these other movies where they try and bring back old characters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk too much about them. Like, Rogue One is a great one where they tried to bring back Princess Leia with digital effects.
Right.
And, but man, they brought him back and it was so believable.
Yeah, it really was. I still don't know what they did because it looked great.
I think so this is the one movie, like, normally we have some behind-the-scenes information.
Mm-hmm.
This movie's way too new.
Right.
I don't have a lot of behind-the-scenes info yet. I'm going to assume and guess that it was an actor, that there was an actor that played Loomis, and then they made him look like Pleasance.
Nice. That would make sense. Because I guess we don't really get any, like, super close-ups of him either.
On purpose.
Yep, on purpose.
Yeah, they put him in shadow.
But it worked. Yeah, it worked really well. Yeah,
I thought it was great.
Me too. It was just good to see that character again. I love Loomis.
And then this was definitely the throwback movie. This was, 2018 had its throwbacks, but this one, man, they went overboard.
Yeah.
You have Anthony Michael Hall, who plays Tommy Doyle.
Mm-hmm.
And then you actually have Kyle Richards play Lindsay, and those were the two kids that Jamie Lee Curtis was babysitting.
Yep.
Or Laurie Strode was babysitting in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
You have Nancy Stevens reprising her role as Marion.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the one that touched me a good bit was Charles Cyphers playing Sheriff Brackett.
That was awesome.
But spoiler, they all die.
Yeah. Wait,
I was
no,
just like,
Lindsay didn't.
What? Yeah, Lindsay didn't die.
Lindsay didn't, but yeah, the rest.
She's somewhere in the hospital. But yeah, I was so sad. I was hoping that Tommy was going to carry across.
Me too.
To the next movie, but this movie definitely, while the first movie was absolutely about the Strodes,
right,
and especially Laurie and dealing with 40 years of
PTSD,
trauma from that night. This movie was about the entire town's trauma.
Yeah.
All of Haddonfield and how they're dealing with it as a town. And then, it seems like Halloween Ends is going to go back to Laurie and the granddaughter, Allison.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I was a little sad to see Tommy Doyle bite it in the end.
Me too.
But at the same time, it's what leads to the next.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I was very sad to see Karen Strode get killed by Michael.
I know, that was such a bummer. I wasn't expecting that either. I was expecting what I thought. So she looks out the window, and I thought she was going to look over the street and see all those people like massicared, essentially by Michael. But instead, we get that shot of him right behind her, which both my wife and I jumped. Because it was a good shot. Because I was, like I said, I wasn't expecting him to be there. I was expecting her to like stare him down out the window.
Yeah.
So that was I didn't want her to die.
Me neither, but I mean, also Dylan Arnold came back as Cameron from Halloween 2018, Allison's boyfriend.
Yeah. Oh
who
my
messed
gosh.
up
Yes.
so bad.
Oh, his
And
death.
it was like, yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
So that's one thing I was going to ask you. There's a few, like the deaths, the kills in this movie are brutal.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
They are incredibly brutal. And like a horror movie fan's dream.
Yeah.
They were so brutal.
Yeah, for sure.
But I was going to ask you, so I asked Mary, my girlfriend, her name is Mary. Not. I didn't ask you to marry her.
No.
I asked my girlfriend what she thought was the most brutal killing, and her first one was the guy who got stabbed in the car through the back of the head.
Oh, right.
And the knife comes out his eyeball.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
What was your most brutal kill?
I think it was the and what's funny is it was the least amount of blood, but it was the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Just because he like it kind of reminded me of when we talked about Pumpkinhead. It was like just like a 3-tier kill.
Yeah.
Where you mean he like stabs him, then he pushes his head through the banister, throws him up and down, up and down, up and down in the banister while he's still alive, as Allison's screaming, and then he starts walking down the stairs with him still alive, and then grabs his head and twists it around.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. I told my wife, I was like, and that's why you don't cheat.
Michael will get you.
Because Michael will get you. But yeah, oh my gosh. What about you? What did you think?
I think the old couple near the beginning.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because that was just so sad. Like, they were just such a cute, loving old couple.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Michael Myers, though. That's Michael Myers in these new movies.
Right.
And how terrifying he actually is.
Yeah.
And that's something I appreciate about these movies. Like, Michael is terrifying.
Yeah.
And just the... Like, first of all, the brutality with which he kills... Or doesn't actually kill her yet, but the brutality with which he shoves that fluorescent bulb through her throat.
Oh, God, yes. Eesh.
And then as she's sitting there, she has to sit and watch him as he just grabs knife after knife and plunges them into her husband's back.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, you see him walking towards her with the final knife. Or no, he takes a knife out of the husband
Yeah.
and then starts walking towards her. I thought that was pretty brutal.
You're right. Well, and that's what I thought, too. Like, I thought or what I thought, sorry, during that scene was, I feel like we saw him angry. Like, I don't think we usually see him angry, but him almost losing to Laurie, maybe I'm wrong, but I felt it was right after that, he was mad, and that was his way of almost taking it out, was just stabbing this guy like 10 times in the back with different knives. Maybe it wasn't, but that's how I took it, was just he's mad.
That's interesting. I didn't really feel that.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's just
I just
me,
felt
then.
like Michael is just a killing machine.
You're right. And yeah, that...
But that was the whole point of the movie, though. And that's
Right.
something they brought up near the end, is that he's not actually after Laurie.
Right.
Everybody's
right.
like, he's going to come to the hospital. And, they're kind of... I feel like that was a throwback to Halloween, too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
But then the sheriff and they were saying, no, he's not coming to get you.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason he was at your house is because the crazy doctor brought him there.
Yep.
He's not coming to get you, Laurie.
Yeah.
He's just killing everybody.
Yeah.
And that's kind of terrifying in itself.
You're right. Yep. No rules, just anarchy with him.
Couple of other nice notes.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it was just a quick little Easter egg in Halloween 2018.
Mm-hmm.
But oh man, they really showcased those Halloween 3 masks.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they did.
It's like, hey, if you didn't notice them in the first movie, you're gonna notice them now. I loved it.
Me
loved
too.
it. I love how they're embracing Halloween 3.
Me too, man. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, that was wonderful. My favorite scene,
Yeah.
Little John.
Yeah, Big John?
I'm gonna get this knife. I'm gonna get this knife. They were so awesome.
They were awesome.
I loved that there was this older, like I don't know about older, but yeah, I mean middle-aged,
Yeah.
real estate gay couple that had bought up the Myers house. And I'm like, "Oh my god, I can absolutely I can picture some of my friends doing that."
Right? Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
And I mean, it was great. It was great to see the Myers house again.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I loved it. Like
Yeah.
every bit of that. I just love that there was somebody living there.
Yeah. Yeah. You never think about that. Or at
Or
least I
in
don't.
most horror movies, nobody moves into these places. Like
Right.
it remains an abandoned eyesore.
Mm-hmm.
But no, somebody's gonna be morbid and think I want to live here, and they're gonna remind everybody that comes by the house. Do you know whose house this used to be?
Yep.
You know.
Totally.
I love that. I loved everything, and I just kept laughing every time they call out Big John, Little John.
Oh, and his death was horrifying too.
Oh, but that was sad. I didn't want them to die.
And one thing, did you catch too? And maybe I think that's what it was.
Ooh.
But he placed their bodies in the same pose as their picture.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So like, I think it's like one of them has their head laying on the other one's lap in the
Yeah.
picture, and then he put their bodies in that same pose.
That's why he did it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was kind of confused as to why he, set them down like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And why? And they even said, I don't know if it's because they even talked about he has like the mentality of a 5-year-old or 6-year-old or whatever he was. So,
Huh.
Who knows? I don't know.
I honestly can't wait to watch it again.
Yeah, me too.
And finally, the music.
Oh, it's great.
Once again, just like Halloween 2018, the music was done by John Carpenter,
Mm-hmm.
Cody Carpenter, and Daniel Davies. And I think it did a great job of continuing the music from 2018.
Agreed. Mm-hmm.
Watching both movies back to back, I think the score to 2018 is a little bit better.
Yep.
But then again, I've only seen this movie once, and I actually got the vinyl soundtrack.
Ooh. Yes.
So I'm probably going to listen to that soon. And then I'll be able to tell even more, like, if I like it just as much or more. But did you like the music?
I loved it. I really did. I agree
Yeah.
with you. I've listened to, I think the song from 2018, I think the song is called The Shape Hunts Allison.
I think that's the one you sent me, right?
Yep, exactly. And
You're
I
like,
think
can we put this on the playlist?
Yeah, yeah, I did. Yeah,
yeah.
But I think that's one of my favorite horror songs. It's just cool, and it reminds me. I mean, since it is John Carpenter, it has that feel of the Halloween theme song without it being the Halloween theme song.
Yeah.
And so for that, I think, like you said, I think the 2018 one sticks with me a little more. But I've only watched this one once too, so it's hard to say. But the music was definitely there, and I definitely felt it, heard it, and sensed it in this movie too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think that leaves our 3 questions.
Yes. So, well, let me ask you.
Yes.
Was this movie gory?
Yes.
Yeah.
Next question.
Yeah.
But no, this movie, they did not hold back. The kills are brutal. They're bloody. They're painful. And the special effects are amazing.
Yeah.
Very well done. Very good mix of, you can sometimes tell when it's digital blood.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Which I used to hate in movies, but they've just gotten a lot better at it. And so, yeah, just the practical effects were really good. So yeah, it's a very gory movie, very, very violent. So
yeah, a lot of blood in this one, a lot.
Yeah.
So then, question 2, what did you think? Was this movie scary?
So this movie it's very much like 2018.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that's going to scare me beyond watching the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this movie does have some terrifying, a terrifying feel to it. Like just the fact that this man just goes from house to house, just killing.
Yeah.
And he has the only thing he doesn't kill is the baby. He has something against.
Yeah.
Does he kill any young kids?
Like really
young kids?
He did in the in the 2018 one, because I had not seen that, and that actually kind of bugged me, or not bugged me, but bothered me.
Wait, which kid did he kill in 2018?
When the bus crashes, that boy and his dad arrive in the pickup, and he's like, the kid's like, I want to be a dancer.
That's right.
And then he goes in there
and
breaks his neck. Yeah. And I just was like, I didn't like that. Like,
well, but I think he killed the kid to get the car.
He did. Oh, for sure. But I mean, still, like,
because they kind of make it a point that he didn't kill young Lonnie.
Right. You're right.
In 1978.
You're right.
So that is interesting. But besides that, yes, I found it very terrifying that he would just go house to house killing.
Yeah. Yep.
And I didn't think this movie was that. At a certain point, it becomes less scary. Mm-hmm. But the beginning of the movie, I'd say, is pretty terrifying. Like, especially with the old couple and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think part of it is scary. I don't think the movie is very, very scary as a whole.
I would agree with you.
What about you?
No, I agree with that. And I it's all subjective too, but like for me, slasher movies don't really stick with me or scare me. Like I can fall asleep that night just fine.
Yeah.
And so I would say with this one, it's the same thing. Like it was great. There were scary moments. There were some jumps and stuff, but for me, it wasn't super scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, if you're someone that's scared by slasher movies, this one will probably scare you.
Yeah, I mean, I try and even when a movie is not scary to me, like this one, and like you're talking about slasher movies, I do try and put myself in the place of the characters sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, I'd be terrified.
Yeah.
And to me, that's why I can call a movie scary sometimes, even if it doesn't personally scare me that much, because it may not be scary, but it's got some terrifying situations.
Right. You're right.
For the characters. And if I was in that situation, like I actually, I have a door and an outer gate door. And at night when it's cool enough, we open the door, we leave the outer gate, And all of a sudden, like, I couldn't help it. Late at night, I was playing video games, and I suddenly imagined Michael Myers, like, or somebody that dressed like Michael Myers coming up on my doorstep and, like, trying to jiggle the doorknob and trying to get inside. And I'm like, that would be scary.
Yeah.
I would be scared.
Yep. Well, I agree.
So-
Yeah, if something like that happened here at our place, yeah, I'd have a real rough time. You're right.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm on the second floor, so it's, you know, there's other apartments that he would go to first, but you know, you're just one story. He would go straight to you and kill you.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be scared if I was you.
Yep. I'm going to play this section for my daughter later.
Oh, good. You wanted horror movies.
Yep.
Here you go.
Yep. Listen what Scotty had to say about our place. On that note, the last question. Did you have fun with horror?
Mostly.
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 They come out at night.
Mostly. Yeah, mostly. Yeah, for the most part, I had a great time watching this movie. I laughed a lot. I cringed in my seat going, oh my, holy Lord, what did he just do to that person? There was a few parts where I was like, but that they didn't bother me that much.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, my friend texted me last night. He said he was disappointed in the movie, and I said, well, you know, it's interesting. I had some issues with it, but I still loved it. I still enjoyed the hell out of it.
Nice.
So what about you? Did you have fun?
I had a blast. Yeah, I really did. Like I said, there's little nitpicky things, but overall, it was a great day. Like, it was a great time. It was fun watching all three. I liked how this one connected them. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I had a great day, period.
Yeah?
Because, yeah, I mean, I watched Cult of Chucky yesterday.
Nice.
I watched Halloween 2018 and then Halloween Kills with the girlfriend.
Nice.
And then I watched the first episode of Chucky.
That's a beautiful day.
And then, yeah, it was a great day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, actually, I thought I would be, like, horror movied out a little bit after Halloween Kills.
Mm-hmm.
So we put on, like, the most recent episode of Survivor.
Oh, right.
And then I was like, no, I'm not ready to quit. Let me put on Chucky.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a horror fan right there.
Yeah. Chucky over Survivor.
Yep.
Survivor. Yes. Yes, money penny. That was terrible. See, never mind. Catch me when I haven't been talking for like an hour, and then I can do a better Sean Connery.
I have heard your Sean Connery. It is very good.
Pushy. Pushy.
Oh my gosh.
If he pulls a knife, you pull a gun. That's terrible. I'm not even going to finish that one.
But the effort was there.
If he sends your guys to the hospital, you send his to the morgue.
Ooh, there you go.
We called the dog Indiana. Okay, I'm stopping. That's terrible. It's the worst Sean Connery impression I've ever done in my life.
I'll keep that in.
Please. Fun with horror.
Ooh, there we go.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
And in the house next door, there was a babysitter and a young boy and a young girl, and they were brutally attacked by this stalker who had a power beyond any mortal man. My name is Tommy Doyle, and I was that young boy.
All right. We killed Halloween Kills.
Ooh, nice. Nice.
Was it, though?
I liked it. It works
Next year we can end Halloween. No, stop it. Just stop. Just
Come
stop.
on. We're all trying to have a good time.
Yeah, we are, and we're not anymore. Andrew.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here's the thing, and I've told you this, but I want to tell you again.
Yes, please.
I've kind of missed this. And what I miss is the choice, the randomness of the final choice, because the last few episodes, so with the exception of when you chose the changeling,
Right.
okay, the choice I had before that was Malignant. You kind of knew that that's what I was going to pick. Then we had our top 10 episode. And then at the end of that, you also, because we had to know, you knew I was going to pick Halloween Kills.
Right.
I kind of miss this randomness. I kind of miss not knowing what you're about to choose.
Me
You've
too.
given one little hint.
I did, and I
I'd
will
like you
actually
to tell-
explain that too.
Yeah, please do. I'm super excited to find out because Andrew, and this is, not to put any pressure on you.
Oh, jeez.
This is our final episode of October that you're choosing for.
I know.
It's basically our Halloween episode.
I know.
And we are getting Oingo Boingo to perform live on the podcast. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh. That would be awesome.
No. Anyway, sorry, that was random.
I liked it.
Andrew,
Yes.
what's the next movie?
Okay, well, so yeah, let me give everyone kind of a background too, because I called you and said, I said, because we knew that I was going to be kind of the last one for Halloween time.
October, yeah.
For
Yeah.
October, excuse me, yeah. And I said, there's a movie that I don't think I've actually seen. I've seen clips and I've heard stories and I've seen videos, so I may have seen parts of it on TV, but it's a very famous horror movie. Very
Now,
famous. Yeah.
You said maybe the most famous.
Maybe the most famous. Maybe.
And that narrowed it down for me to like one of maybe a couple movies.
Yeah. And it might not be exactly what you're thinking. It might be. I don't know.
That's even better.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. But it's very, very famous. In fact, I looked it up. I do like top 10 lists of horror movies as well. After we did ours, I just kind of for funsies. And this one showed up on many lists I saw. Many. And I went, oh, geez. And that was one thing I was a little worried about, too, and you and I talked about this a little, is I think there's a few of these movies where I've seen clips and I've seen, they're so famous that I feel like I've probably seen that, but I don't know if I have.
Yeah, and what I said at that point was that if it's been so long that you don't remember the movie at all, I think it can still be considered a movie that we quote unquote haven't seen.
Right.
Because there's movies like I think I saw the old 1978 or 79, 1980 movie Ghost Story, but I don't remember it. So that would be a movie that I consider not having seen really.
Cool. Okay.
But
Right
go
on.
ahead, please.
So, but I gotta, yeah. So this one, like I mentioned, I was a little nervous that I would lose my horror credit.
There is
on
no
this.
horror credit.
You're right, but that's
I'm
what
going to talk about that in a second.
Yeah, and that was what I was hoping, is that hopefully people aren't sitting there going, "Oh, he hasn't seen that," but are more excited.
Yeah, who cares if?
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that soon. So, all right, are you ready for the movie?
Yeah.
So this is
I'm
actually a movie from your top 10 list.
I knew it.
Yeah, and that is
One of two.
Stanley Kubrick's
The Shining.
The Shining. I don't think I have ever seen The Shining, man.
The whole way through.
The whole way through. I really don't, because I don't think I've seen it.
That is a great movie for Halloween.
Right? That's what I thought. Like I said, it's such a famous horror movie, and the fact that I haven't seen it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like a perfect time to do this. I feel right around Halloween.
Now let me address what you just said, though,
Yes, please.
because this is something I think about quite often.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody should ever shame somebody else for not having seen a movie.
Right.
I'm very much against that.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
There may be disbelief. Like it's hard for me to believe you've never seen The Shining, but
Right.
there's a lot of movies I haven't seen, and in fact, I kind of think the next movie I'm going to pick might be one of those movies.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yes.
But at the same time, like when somebody close to me, like you right now,
Mm-hmm.
tells me that they haven't seen a movie that is extremely famous, extremely popular, like The Shining.
Right.
I don't sit there and think. My first thought is not what the crap, man. What have you been doing your whole life?
Right.
My first thought is not to shame you. My first thought is that, oh my Lord, you get to see The Shining for the very first time, the whole way through, and I get to experience it with you.
Nice.
Through this podcast. That's exciting to me. You know, it's like my girlfriend, when we started dating, she, you know, she's not that much younger than me, but a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But she had never really, really, really gotten into the original Star Wars trilogy.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You know, a lot of people would shame somebody for not having seen Star Wars. But to me, that was an opportunity to experience her joy of these movies. Watching these, like really watching them for the first time. I think she had kind of like half-assed seen them, but not really sat down to really appreciate them.
Right.
And so that's how I feel with The Shining. And so to me, there is no horror movie cred. You know, there's a love of horror movies, and you may have only seen like 10 horror movies, but you love them.
Right.
And that just means that you have so many more to get through.
Nice. Thanks,
And
man.
now I'm getting
That's
off my soapbox.
No, I appreciate that. No, I really do. And I was like, you know, I'm going to be transparent with this and let you know, and just that I'm a little nervous, not, you know, having not seen that. But so I appreciate that.
never
Thank
be
you.
nervous. That is the purpose of this podcast.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
The purpose is that we do get to watch movies that we haven't seen yet.
Right.
You know?
You're right.
The
You're
purpose is not, you know, we are going to talk about famous movies, like I talked about the Chucky series earlier in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
But we're doing this podcast, or we originally started doing this game that we do, giving each other movies to watch so that we could catch up on a lot of movies we haven't seen, or that we could watch movies that are recent, even just movies we haven't seen, and then we can discuss them and enjoy them together.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Or not enjoy them together if a movie's really bad.
Where we did not have fun with horror.
Yeah, we will get to the Hellraiser movies. But yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait till next week when we discuss The Shining and I get to hear your thoughts on it.
Good. Thanks, man.
Even if you're disappointed, like, I want to know.
Mm-hmm. I'll be honest. I have, for a little bit now, I've wanted to watch.
Have you seen its sequel by any weird chance?
No. And actually, recently you had said, you'd called me or something. I can't remember. And you were like, oh, you should watch the sequel, like with the first one. I was like, I don't want to say anything. So I haven't seen that, the sequel.
Man.
But I hadn't seen the first one either. So.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
I know. Yeah. Cool,
Mary's going to be excited about that too. She loves The Shining.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
And I want you to think about something when you watch The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know how airplanes have TVs in the backs of the seats in front of you?
Yep.
And you can see what other people are watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mary and I flew on a plane one night. It was a nighttime flight. And she had her pick of a bunch of movies. Yeah, she put on The Shining. And I was just like, I forget what I was reading or something. And I was just like sitting there watching through some of the scenes. And I want you to imagine people just being able to see somebody else's screen as they watch The Shining on an airplane and subjecting people to that. So
that is awesome. Now that's all I'm going to think about. That's amazing.
Okay, so now you also have to read the book this week. The entire book.
Isn't that like another 1,000-page book?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's only like 400.
Oh, okay.
No. But I will talk a little bit about that.
No, please. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well.
Cool, man.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think so.
What an episode.
What an episode. This was fun. This was exciting doing a new movie.
It's fun with horror is what it
fun
is.
with horror.
And everybody out there, as we mentioned, we are on social media. We have a Facebook group called Fun with Horror.
Mm-hmm.
We're on Twitter. I believe it's at FunWHorror. We're on Instagram as the Fun with Horror podcast. Just search for us anywhere. Also, Andrew, I want to let you know.
Yeah.
Our Fun with Horror Spotify playlist full of horror movie music is now about 10 hours long.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
I added another 2 hours.
Yes, dude.
It's fun. Sometimes I just zone out and I just start looking up any horror movie I can think of. I look through horror movie lists and I'm like, oh, let's look up this horror movie. And there's a soundtrack and I put some music from there on it. And I'm just tripping over my words. So I'm going to say goodbye.
Oh, this was fun, man. As always,
This was fun.
Such a good time.
Next week, Halloween episode, The Shining.
The Shining.
Bloody baby.
Bloody baby. Bye, Scotty.
Bye, Andrew.
Little Johnny? Big Johnny.